There we go. The recording has been started. So, hello and welcome everyone to the first of four TEM online sessions that we will be having this month. My name is Chad Pusick, and I will be your instructor for pretty much all four of the sessions, unless outside forces act on that. But other than that, I should be with you guys all month. How is everybody doing today? Everybody doing well? I saw some of you chatting in the chat box earlier. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. I got a fantastic. That's always good. All right. Very good. Yes, today is a pretty good day. For Florida, it was actually nice outside today for a change. That's going to change in about 6 more weeks when it becomes unbearably hot. But, oh, yes, well, I had a friend that lived in Arizona, and Arizona is always hot. Sunny, but hot. So glad to see that so many of you are doing well this evening. Once again, my name is Chad Pusick, and I will be your instructor for all four of these sessions, unless something changes. Just so you guys know, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, just click on the hand raised icon, and I will call on you, and you can speak into your mic. Or if you'd like, you can just type it into the chat box. If I miss it, there's a lot of people chatting, so if I happen to miss it, just feel free to ask again, and hopefully I will get to you. So yes, I should be the only one doing the go-to sessions this month. This is for all of the TEM classes. So hopefully we'll have a great month. No, I could. Megan just asked me if I'm her instructor. It's possible that I'm your instructor. I actually am teaching 3 of the online sections. We have more. I believe we have 14 sections this month, something like that. So there's a 3 in 14 chance that I am your instructor this month. However, all of the instructors, we all cover the same material. So if you have any questions during the sessions, I will be able to answer them, no problem. And if you have any further clarification, you can either reach out to me via email, or you can obviously reach out to your instructor for the course for TEM. So once again, welcome to the session. These are the first of 4 that we are going to be doing. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hands. A little bit about me, in case you guys are wondering. I've been a teacher here with Full Sail for 14 years, so I have 14 years of teaching experience. I've had 15 years of media design experience, both as a web designer and in computer animation as well. Let's see, what else? There's other things too. I'm a huge gamer. I'm sure many of you in here right now are. So I think we can probably find some common ground there. I'm sure some favorite game from the 90s. Oh, that's a tough one. From the 90s, I'd have to probably start saying right around Baldur's Gate. The original Elder Scrolls as well. I have played every Elder Scrolls game on the day they were released, every single one. I think Morrowind was the best. But Morrowind was not released in the 90s. That was 2003, 2004, I believe. So yeah, I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan, huge Fallout fan. Currently, right now, I never had time to play more than one game at once. Somebody said Street Fighter. I'm a Mortal Kombat guy myself. I do remember Streets of Rage. Due to being, an adult and adult things getting in the way, I only have time to. Oh, played all the Halos. Yep. I currently only have time to usually play one game at a time. So right now, I've been devoting that mostly to the Division 2, which is not normally usually my thing, but I love the first Division, so I've been playing the Division 2 for right now. Max level, still have not. Destiny, played Destiny. Joseph said Magic the Gathering card game. I was actually one of the first buyers of Magic the Gathering. I was there when Magic the Gathering came out, and I remember being in line to get the cards, like for the first edition ever. D&D, I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for over 30 years. I'm an old school D&D player. I've been playing D&D since I was 11, I think. So, and that was right from the transition from original D&D to 2nd edition. My favorite edition, I'm still a 2nd ed guy, but that's what I grew up with. I have played all of the editions to some degree. We are just starting to do a campaign now in 5th edition. I like the rule set. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty tight. I don't have time anymore to come up with my own adventures, so I'm taking my poor campaigners through the Ravenloft campaign setting. So if you know anything about Ravenloft, you should probably pity them. It's going to be a rough one. So once again, welcome everyone. That's a little bit about me. A couple other things. I'm a huge horror movie fan. Been a horror movie fan ever since I was a kid. Let's do an online game. Like I said, the only one I'm doing right now is Division 2, although occasionally I do play Apex as well. I was playing Apex for quite a while. I have not played the annual or the year pass they just put out. Got a Pathfinder main. I was always Bloodhound, and Mirage. I can't stand Mirage's character, but I like his ability. So, other than that, I was usually Bloodhound. I have not had a chance to try the new one yet. So, all right. So, a little bit about TEM. We are technology in the entertainment media industry. We're going to put you in touch with all of the respective degree programs that represent the technology classes at Full Sail. Many of you are close, maybe a month or two after. Michelle, I like to think that pretty much all of us are cool. All of the Full Sail instructors are pretty cool. We want to put you in touch with all of the degree programs that represent the technology fields at Full Sail. So we've got game design, game development, cloud tech, mobile development, web design, graphic design. There's a number of different degree programs that are in this class. Most of you, if not all of you, are very, very close to getting into your core classes, either a month or two away. So about a month or two away. So animation, you guys are going to, if you're in computer animation or game art, you're going to be diving right into it next month. If you are in game design and game development, I believe you have a math class next month. I can't remember what graphic design and web design has. And I think mobile dev and cloud tech, they might have a math class too. It's a little bit different because I know that schedules are a little bit longer because most of you have just one class during the month. I teach both online and campus is a little bit faster. I should say very fast, actually. But that's just the way it is with the online setting. Oh, that's right. So that's right. Some of you will have English composition. I totally forgot that. 3D Foundations is a good class. So you guys are very close to some of your core classes. Some of you have another 2 months or so, but you're all very, very close to getting to where you want to be. So our class is going to kind of put you in touch with all of the other technological programs here, and you can kind of start seeing how they all interact with each other. All of our projects this month, they're designed to educate, build skills, and career build. Education, obviously, practicing iteration, self-awareness, being successful in a virtual environment, being in a virtual class has its own challenges. You got to be have to be willing to communicate quite a bit with your instructors and your peers. You have to be willing, you have to practice good time management. We're going to have a couple projects about that. Bryson just asked me, do not recall what my next class is. How do I find out? You can go on the Full Sail website. If you go to the Full Sail website, click on your degree program, and then make sure you select the online version of it. It'll give you a listing of the order of classes that you will have. So then skill building, obviously attention to detail, making sure your projects are completed on time, meeting the deadlines, communicating, and then career building. We're going to have a couple career building things where you want to think about how you're going to network and collaborate in a virtual environment and in your world that you've chosen, in your game art world, in your design world, from whatever it might be. So that's what we're all about this month. And week one, kind of a breakdown of all the weeks here. We're just going to obviously focus on week one. If you do want to work ahead, I should let you all know that at least the last time I checked, all the projects are open throughout the month. So you are more than welcome to work ahead on them. That's not true for every class here at Full Sail, but we keep ours open for pretty much the entire month. I know some people work at different paces and whatnot. So feel free to work ahead. If you have questions about future projects, obviously reach out to your instructor and they give you some advice with those. But week one, we're going to focus on the plan of attack and industry websites. We're going to do a little bit, think about scheduling your time and a little bit of exploration about your very industries. Ooh, got a little feedback there. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. Making sure that my internet doesn't decide to jive out on me here. All right. So when you're in an online class, make sure the first thing you do is read the assignment and read the assignment thoroughly. Make sure that you download all the PDFs. We'll have PDFs of the instructions. There'll be some extra ones in some of them for just a little clarification on things. If we have videos for them, please make sure that you watch all the videos. Read your rubrics as well. I cannot stress that enough. Read the rubric before you submit a project. Your instructions will tell you how to do a project correctly. Your rubric will tell you how to get the most points possible. And obviously, if you have any questions, make sure that you ask your instructor as well. So this week, their first project is going to be the plan of attack. You're going to create a plan of attack, how you're going to tackle this month's projects. You're going to gather some resources, creating a backup plan to succeed, and then start putting some of these things into practice. If I start going too fast, sometimes the longer I go without interruption, the faster I will start talking. So if I am going very fast, please say something and feel free to slow me down. And as always, if you have any questions, by all means, raise your hand and do so, and I'll be sure to answer them. So let me grab a drink of water here. There we go. Robert just asked, sorry, Robert, just saw your question. If my friend has a backup internet, do I need to provide his phone number? No, you wouldn't need to for that. You don't need to go into details about the backup. It's just what the backup is. So for that one per se, you could just put down friend's internet. We'd be perfectly fine with that. That's jumping ahead a little bit though. So your plan of attack. First thing you want to do, this is directly from the rubric, by the way. First thing you want to do, go to your dashboard, briefly explore all the assignments for the month. Once again, they're open. Just take a look at them. You don't have to get into them too much, with the exception of the week 1 project, obviously. But after that, you can go ahead and take a look at them. So start taking a look at some of the assignments and just what they're going to entail. We have a template for you to do this project. You can use it if you want to. It's just there for you to help get you started. If you want to change it around a bit or think of something completely new on your own, and I'll show you some student examples here in a bit, that's perfectly fine. This plan is going to be figuring out how to attack your entire month. And by attack, I mean how do you plan to get all of your projects done this month and actually have time for a social life, family, whatever your needs are. It's to kind of get you thinking about how you're going to block time aside to make sure you can get all of your projects done. And then when you turn the project in, it is going to be turned in as a PDF format. Most of the projects here in TEM, with the exception of a couple, require you to turn them in PDF format. There are a couple exceptions. I know there's a video project in week 4. But for the most part, you're going to want to turn them in as PDF. And then we do have a naming convention as well. It is last name, first name, and then the assignment number. So in this case, if you look at the bottom center of the page, it'll say Smith Jane 1.1 or Smith Jane 1.1.pdf. That is how we turn in our files and how we name our files this month in TEM, which is a pretty common convention here at Full Sail. You'll want to get used to naming them the way that your instructor wants them to be named. Now, this project is going to be due on Sunday. Most of the projects in TEM are due on Sundays. We will have a couple discussions later on in weeks 2, 3, and 4 where you have to have an initial post done by Thursday. But for the most part, the rest of the projects are due on Sunday. Caitlin, yes, that's perfectly fine. It should be last name. It's your last name _ first name 1.1. That's what the naming convention is. Now, the plan of attack itself. This is almost what the template looks like. And here's the information you have to have on it. You have to have your first name and last name, your student ID number, the section number for the class. Your section number is in the upper left-hand corner of your TEM page. It'll say something like, I think it says something like TEM 100-0 and then it'll say like 0, 6, for example. If you're in my sections, I believe I'm 3, 4, and 5 this month. So you can find your section number up in the upper left-hand corner. Give us your degree program and a backup email in case FSO's down if we're ever trying. Excuse me, got the hiccups all of a sudden. In case that we're ever trying to reach you. Next up, and I'm just going from the top here, the computer you'll be using for TEM, and then internet you'll be using. So in this case, you can put down your laptop, your PC, your internet, and then a backup computer if you have access to one, and backup internet. Excel won't. No, that won't be an issue, Robert. I forgot Excel does that sometimes. So if Robert just asked me if Excel won't let him start with a number with 0. So if your section number is 7, just put 7. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to put 0, 7. Next up, let us know what your hours are available for your computer and access to your internet, which for most of you is probably going to be mostly 24/7. And then what you feel your backup hours are going to be for your internet and or what your hours for your backup computer and backup internet would be. So that's the first section of information. The next section of information is really where the bulk of your information is going to come from. You're going to go through each of the days, and we started with Sunday, but that's fine. You weren't in class on Sunday. We want you to block down week through week what your time is going to be that you're going to put towards your assignments, and then what sort of outside stuff that you have to put time for. So, for example, if you have a wedding you have to go to, put the wedding down. If you have family time, put down family time. One thing that I want to stress, and I want to stress this very much, one thing I want to stress is that this information is not set in stone. You do not need to feel the need to follow it 100% completely. The purpose of this project is to make sure that you're thinking about the time that you have to spend or the time you have to dedicate to putting in the work for your projects. Obviously, sometimes life gets in the way. You get sick or something comes up, whatever it might be. But just be aware that it's just here mostly to serve as a reminder that you do need to put time aside for your projects. And this is something that you're going to want to do throughout your time here at Full Sail. Your classes get much harder as you go along. You'll be dedicating a lot of time to your future classes. So if you can get in the habit of planning out your work month to month and just dedicating blocks of time, it's going to help you in the future. So that's the second block of information that we want from you, is to just kind of plan out your month. And then lastly, give us your time estimates for your project. In other words, what I mean by that is take a look at your projects and put down how much time you feel it's going to take for each of your projects. Yes, a hotspot is perfectly acceptable for backup internet, Austin. If I missed the question the first time, I apologize. We actually have some Starbucks that have computers at them, so you'd be surprised. Yes, spring break is during this class. So for your fourth week, don't worry about putting down your spring break information. Thank you for bringing that up, Megan. I absolutely forgot that spring break was this month. You don't have to put your spring break information down, just the weeks that class is going to be in session. So then for the final block, like I was saying, you want to put down your time estimates. For the first couple projects, put down the actual time that you spent doing them. And after that, just notes on what you feel you might be able to do better. Maybe block more time or make sure that you read the instructions more thoroughly. Let's see. I already added, yes, that's perfectly fine. Yes, that's fine, Megan. Robert, I believe it is between weeks 3 and 4. I forgot the exact day. Yeah, 20th to the 30th. The one estimate on the plan that lists the student course, is that for the entire class estimate? It's just your estimate. Is it the 22nd or the 28th? I'm getting my wires crossed now, too. Unfortunately, instructors don't get a spring break. We have things we have to do. But I think it was Megan that brought that up. Thank you for bringing that up. I had completely forgotten that it was spring, that we had spring break this month. So for this calendar, you're only going to be doing the 4 weeks that we officially have classes. Yep, surprise, Robert! It's spring break this month. So, in addition to all the information that we asked for, we also ask that on pretty much all of the projects, you exercise some creativity in it as well. Uh, this is going to be about 15% of each of the project's scores. So we want you to put some thought into how you can how you can spruce it up a bit, how you can add things to it to make it a little bit yours. Jessica, yes, this video will be on YouTube, probably tomorrow. I have to once we're done here, I'll actually be rendering out the video, and then I have to get it uploaded, and then make sure the link is sent out to all the instructors so we can put it up. So we want you to put some thought into how you can be a little bit creative with this. It could be adding images, adding color, whatever it might be. Be aware that we know not everybody is an artist, but we want to see some of your best effort. Nope, there are no books or materials that you need. Everything is provided for you in the instructions, Jessica. So some student examples that I have for you, and I apologize, some of these are kind of small. These are some creative ones that the students have done. Now, in the lower left-hand corner, it's pretty much just what we've given you for a template, but they've added their own colors and put some images on it as well. So you can even doing something like that for this project is perfectly acceptable. Kind of the same thing with the center one as well. If you look around at some of the other ones, obviously the one on the upper left-hand corner, they just took the creativity and ran with it. However, that project did have all of the information that we asked for. So you can feel free to use our template if you like, or feel free to create something entirely new, as long as you make sure that you answer all of the things that we ask for. So feel free, go nuts, make sure it's readable, change things around, just make sure that you've got everything in there, and you'll be good for whatever creative part that you want to do. My voice is acting weird? Oh no. Is it feedback? Oh, I'm getting the robot noise. Waka, waka, waka. All right, hold on 1 second here. How is my internet holding up? Yeah, that's my Fozzie bear. Waka, 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 waka. Oh no, not the demons. I got rid of them. I mean, they come back sometimes, but audio. Let's see. Is it still doing it? Yep. All right, let me try something else really quick. Give me 10 seconds or so. Does that work? All right, good. Yep, I think it was my headphones, not necessarily my internet. So I had to take the headphones off. Now I need to jack up my sound a little bit. All right. So as long as you guys can hear me okay, that's what matters. Take that another drink of water. Yeah, that's right. I can't do that, Dave. Yeah, I blame the Bluetooths. So anyways, like I was saying, this is some creative ways that these other previous students have kind of jazzed up their project a bit. It is a requirement that you put some thought into how you can make it yours. You don't necessarily need to go completely nuts or anything like that. But you do want to make sure that you have some creativity and customization in the project this month. If you need to export it from PDF or from Excel to PDF, it's pretty easy. The instructions are located with the rest of the instructions. Make sure that you just set it to landscape and fit to page, and you should be able to. Jasmine, Make sure that you go back and watch the archive of this when it goes up, and then we'll go through it. Just make sure that you fit it put it to landscape and you fit it to one page if you're using Excel. And then to save it, you just choose Save as PDF. Make sure you name it completely, last name, first name, and then the assignment number. If you're using Google Docs, that is a perfectly fine to use as well. We have a lot of students that use Google Docs. The archive will probably be going up tomorrow morning, Spencer. It'll take me a while once we're done here to archive it, get it uploaded, and then the link goes out to the rest of the TEM instructors tomorrow. And then once again, setting it to one page and setting it as a PDF is very similar to Excel. Very important that you do that. Make sure you submit it as a PDF document and make sure that you fit it to one page. Google Sheets works well if you don't want to use the Google Docs. You can use Google Sheets as well if you really want to try making it look like yours. It's pretty much very similar. Just make sure you fit it to one page and have it exported as a PDF. And then just going over the rubric real quick. Now, I'm not going to cover the rubric in its entirety, but one thing I want to point out to you, and this is located in the instructions, if you want to get the most points possible, you want to be looking at the exceptional category. So for example, project turn-in, you have it submitted the right format, the right file name, and obviously you have it the landscape, no spelling or grammar errors. And then of course, I totally forgot what I was going to say there. I just spaced out for a second. Oh, make sure you have it set the landscape format and make sure you have it turned in by Sunday. Make sure that you have all of the information requested. So make sure everything is filled out. And then the last part is making sure that it's got some customization. Color coding blocks, paragraphs, adding images in there. Just something to make sure that makes it feel like it's yours a little bit. Just make sure that we can read any text that you have on there. That's important. Now, we do have, just so all of you know, we have a rubric for every project that we have here in TEM. Make sure that you read it. It should be the last thing located in your instructions is the rubric. So always important to start reading your rubrics. Yes, actually, Raphael just asked if he can use Excel. Yes, actually, our demo one is done in Excel. So you can use Excel. Just make sure that you save it out as a PDF. So the reason that we want to do this project and get you guys thinking about this is because, like I said earlier, your time at Full Sail is going to go by very quick, and it's going to be very, 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 very busy. Most of you, if not all of you, probably all of you actually, have a life. I know, right? Strange. But most of you, a lot of you have families, a lot of you have jobs, you have things going on. You've got to make sure that you spend time not only with your family and doing your work and everything, but also making sure that you're putting blocks of time aside to get your classwork done as well. If you can start doing this and start practicing good time management in this class, and that can carry over, that's going to help you immensely in your future classes. Okay, are there any questions on the first project this week? If y'all heard that, that was my Star Trek fight music. Once again, Jessica, there will be an archive going up tomorrow morning. So that's project number one. Project number two is your industry websites. Do I have any advice for people who work time 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? Make sure you block a few hours of time a night when you get home, at least a couple. You will probably, especially as you move forward with your classes, you will have to block time off as well during the weekends. Yeah, coffee and Red Bull. I believe you did, Raphael. Coffee and Red Bull, but remember, in moderation, please. That stuff is really not good for your liver, if I remember, if you drink too much of it. I don't drink Red Bull myself, but I do drink my coffee. So, once again, plan of attack and your industry websites project. So, your industry websites project is going to be your second project for the week. And for this one, what we want me to, oh, Caitlin, I'm actually envious of you, Caitlin. I gave up soda 8 years ago. I have not had a can of soda in 8 years, if you can believe it. I know. I miss Coke, but not as much as I miss root beer and orange soda. I can't give up all caffeine drinks. I need my coffee in the morning. So, for this project, you're going to choose 3 websites from your degree or discipline and write a 5-sentence paragraph, at least a 5-sentence paragraph for each one of the sites, talking about what you found useful, what did you find inspiring, and what's something that you took away from the websites. Now, these first 3 should be industry websites, your industry website. So if you are in game development, you should be looking at game development websites. If you're in computer animation, you should be looking at computer animation websites, preferably ones that's geared towards business side and student side. So we don't want to see a lot of stuff that's consumer related. So, for example, GameInformerMagazine.com is not really what we're looking for. Yes, it's part of your degree program, but that's more geared towards consumers. We want you to take a look at it from the professional side of things. So you're going to choose 3 websites from your degree or discipline, write a paragraph for each one of those websites, talking about what you found interesting, what did you find inspiring, and what did you take away from that website. The second part is you're going to do 2 more websites from a different but connected degree program. And what I mean by that is that you're going to find websites that are related to the class but not your degree program. And if you look on the lower right-hand corner of my page that I got up here, you can see the list that we have. Cloud Tech is not on there at the moment. Cloud Tech is actually really new for online perspective from the online. So, excuse me. So you can include Cloud Tech in there as well. We just have to update that. My apologies for not doing so. Somebody asked me for game art, would you be looking at websites that have jobs, information, and insight from those who are game artists? Yes, those would be excellent websites to find. Yes, if you are in Cloud Tech, and I believe game development as well. Both of those are fairly new to online. We've had them on campus for quite a while, but they're both new to online. Game dev and Cloud Tech should be on there as well. And once again, my apologies for not putting that on there. Now I have something to do when I'm done here. Recommendations for game sites. Gamma Sutra is a good one. IGDA.com is a good one. I know I'm thinking of another one. Websites that are based on conventions. I know, what was the big convention, the gaming conference we just had? Oh, I can't remember it now. PAX, GDC, thank you. PAX is good, but PAX is more related towards the consumer side of things. GDC is for the professional side of things. PAX is an excellent one. Thank you. The thing is, I just had a conversation about GDC today with one of my coworkers who got to go, and I can't believe I just totally spaced on that. For computer animation and game art, Computer Animation Magazine is a good one. ArtStation is a good one. You want to make sure that you answer all these questions as well. So for the websites, give us the degree it's for, the site, the name of the website, the URL, and then answer the 3 questions. So you're going to have the degree, the site name, the URL, and then what you liked, what you learned about the industry, and how you use this information. This seems to be an older one. It says upload by Friday for preferred deadline. That is a bold-faced lie. I apologize. This one is going to be due on Sunday. Search terms, I would just start. Bryson just asked what search terms to use. Um, try, well, obviously try what your program is. So if you're in game design, just look up professional game design websites and go from there. That should start bringing up lists, and you can kind of start narrowing things down from there. Oh, somebody just asked me what the section number for the class is. The section number can be found in the upper left-hand corner of FSO, of your class. Now, some student examples. We actually have 3 student examples, and going from best to worst, the one on the left side is the best, for as an example. That one's got a good amount of information for the websites. They put some time into it. They have a header on it. They've used images and whatnot. So it's a very good example of kind of what we'd be looking for. Number 2, it's okay, but there's no graphics at all. They've done some customization, a little bit here and there, but there's no graphics to it at all. So you want to make sure that you have some customization, such as graphics are a good place to start on your project. And then the one on the right is terrible. That is like a wall of text hits you for 5,000 damage, you die. Please do not do the one on the right. Yeah, personalize it, but make sure it's professional looking too. So once again, the one on the left is the best one. That would be about what you are shooting for. And then going over the rubric, once again, this is in the instructions. I will just go over the exceptional column. That's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to be shooting for. So make sure you have it submitted by Sunday. Correct naming convention, no spelling or grammar errors. Make sure that you have 5 or more. You can do more if you'd like. Yes, you can make this on the tablet, Jasmine. Make sure that you can answer all the questions. What did you learn? What inspired you? What was your takeaway? What was the URL? What was the degree program that it's in? And then lastly, the last 15 points comes from making it yours, adding the customization, graphics, headers, or anything like that. That is your second project for the week. The reason we have this project is we want to get you in touch with not only your degree program, but other degree programs as well. We want you to start seeing the connections that are made. We all rely on each other in these industries. In my campus class, I use the example of if you're making a game, pretty much every degree program that is represented in this class could possibly be used in making a game. We all rely on each other for this. Yes, you can use Microsoft Word. Just make sure you save it as a PDF. For right now, Joseph, yes. Joseph just asked, will we be in the same class? Will we be in all the same classes together? For the first few months, yes. After that, as you start getting into your respective programs, the classes get smaller. I know, like Cloud Tech, they kind of branch off into their own world. Game design goes into their own. Game development goes into their own. Web and mobile, I think they stay with each other for close to 8 or 10 months. Computer animation and game art, they stay together for a while before they split off into their respective disciplines. So it kind of depends, but these classes will get smaller and smaller as you get further along in your degree program. Bryson, reach out to your instructor with that issue and see if they can give you a hand with that. Are there any questions on the projects for this week? And both of those projects are due Sunday. Nope, no questions. Yes, you can use PowerPoint. That's fine. The backup plan, once again, just what your backup computer is and what your backup internet is. No, you can have them in by Sunday for 100%. We have projects in weeks 2 and 3 where there's a Thursday deadline for the most points, but for these first projects, it's actually Sunday. Yes, your iPad will count as a backup. Any other questions? Oh yes, Caitlin, if you can turn your assignments in as early as you'd like. Well, believe me, we none of us at Full Sail, as far as instructors are concerned, have no problems with you getting your work done early. As a matter of fact, we love to see it. Um, no, you can't submit it early for extra credit, but you have the accomplishment of having your work done early, and then you can enjoy your weekend. And that's actually, to be fair, that's actually a very good thing to start getting into. Being able to finish your projects early, being able to get a head start on them. Any other questions? Ooh, recommended word count. We're looking for at least a paragraph for each website. So you're looking at probably about at least 5 sentences for each website. At least. Yes, this video should be posted tomorrow at a late afternoon, late morning or early afternoon. GPS in this class works by making sure that you turn in your work on time, and that you're also professional with your peers and with your instructor as well. Very rare occasion when that doesn't happen, but for the most part, it's making sure that you turn your work in on time. Well, you have to fill in the plan of attack. You have to fill in all the questions for it. Make sure you save it as a PDF, and then you can upload it. Any other questions? What would be your office hours? So my office hours, it's kind of different for every instructor. Typically, my office hours, I'm in the office pretty much from 9 to, or at least available from 9 to 4. Those are my personal office hours. Other instructors, it might be different, but I'm usually reachable if you're in my class from 9 to 4. We do not have a Discord yet. The video will be posted tomorrow, late afternoon or late morning or early afternoon. Yeah, we're working on that, Caitlin. All right, so that is what I have for you today. I'm going to stop the recording